we have Suzetta Perkins as our next guest, and she has been on the show before, but it's been a while. I want to say a couple of years. And she has a new book that came out March 28th, and it's
Okay.
called Black Diamond. So she's going to talk about her new book as soon as we get her on camera.
I'm sure she'll be here in a second. There she is. She's coming.
Okay, unmute because we can see your lips moving, but we can't hear
I'll
you.
tell you the truth. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'll complain to myself
These
later.
new,
Okay,
these newfangled systems.
Yes,
we
yes.
try to keep it simple because
Yeah.
unless you're on it all the time, sometimes it can be challenging.
Yeah.
And
You're
we're
right.
on it all the time. So but welcome, Suzetta, to Black Authors Matter TV, or welcome back. Now, what I think it was a couple of years ago when you were on the show.
Yes. Uh-huh. I leave it, yeah, at least a year and a half ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you have released a new book called Black Diamond. Do you have a copy of it?
Yes, I do. And probably it's backwards, but yes, I
No,
do.
it's not
Oh
backwards.
no, it looks good.
It's not,
Oh, it
yeah.
looks good. Oh, okay.
On
It's backwards.
Zoom, live, Facebook, the books aren't backwards,
Oh, okay.
which
Okay.
is
I
a
can see
great
when I
thing.
see when I look at it, it was backwards. So okay,
But I
wonderful.
think if you do Facebook Live, like just straight Facebook Live, that's when it's backwards. But if
Okay.
you do Zoom and then go live on Facebook, it's not backwards.
Oh, okay.
I learned that early on.
Yeah.
So tell us about Black Diamond and what I've been seeing it a lot on social media. So
Yeah, it has
where
been
did it come?
doing quite well. But first off, let me say, Gwen, I am so excited to be back again. And if I meant to send you a copy, but you are featured in my acknowledgments. I just want you to know that I do,
Uh-oh.
I do appreciate, um, talk show hosts and so forth, reaching out to people like me to give us this platform. So I just appreciate you and I acknowledge you in Black Diamonds. But Black Diamonds, let me just give you a quick synopsis. It is the sequel to Fallen Leaves, which I think I spoke about in my
Right,
earlier
right.
interview with you.
Mhm.
And just to give you just a little snapshot of Fallen Leaves, it follows my character, Reese Gypsy Shackelford, as she journeys through the pandemic of 2020 and the aftermath of the George Floyd killing, which we all experience. And while Gypsy's life wasn't always a bed of roses, she found purpose in her life. And that was when she joined the Black Lives Matter movement. It was a short climb, but anyway, she found purpose. And what I wanted to do, without telling that whole story, because that is a whole big story in itself, but I wanted to lift her up, because she, had a little hard, but it might have been her, she might have caused that herself because she had a sister who lived across town who um lived in a gated community, had a nice job, had a husband who was an attorney in town. And sometimes you have those siblings, that they see you, and they blame you for the situation that you're in, and really didn't want to help. So I wanted to elevate this character. And so what I did in Black Diamond, without giving Fallen Leaves all the way, I moved her out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. It just happens to be where I live now. So I use that because I lived through the pandemic in North Carolina. I'm a Cali girl. I was born and raised in Oakland, Hayward,
Okay.
California. Yeah. So anyway, I've been here for 30 years. So I guess I'm a plant, a permanent implant here. But anyway, I moved her out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, and took her to Los Angeles. And she found new life. She was given an opportunity to work with the Black Lives Matter movement there, probably just to get some, some instruction, some guidance, so that she could take it back to Fayetteville. But she ain't really want to go back to Fayetteville. And that's because she and her children, she had two young girls who really they thrived while they were there. And she really delved hard into the Black Lives Matter movement, also becoming entrenched in the policies, trying to change policies in at the LA Police Department, housing, all that, those ramifications. I mean, she really became a voice to be reckoned with, But you'll see her again, all her trials, because as you know, and I've kind of made it in this, well, of course, since the pandemic was now, the information is now, we've had more killings. Black Lives Matter is still going on. People are still being killed, black, white, whatever, red, what have you. Those things haven't stopped. George Floyd was just a pivotal moment in our lives because we were all sitting at home watching TV, waiting for the call, not really though, to go back to work. I think my job, I had to go back to work. Not that I was that essential worker, but I had to go back to work. But we were all sitting there, in front of our TVs when this thing happened, not that it didn't happen to Ahmaud Arbery just months ago, and our girlfriend, I can't think of her name right now, but this was still going on. And so you see that, her as she fights through issues that I've invented, for the book, while she's there. But an unforeseen new event in her life, which is how I start the book out, allows her to go across the ocean, over to Europe. And she finds that Black Lives Matter is alive and well across the globe. But, fighting in both hemispheres, it has its casualties, and I did a lot of research, and in Italy, they have a street named George Floyd, and another person that was killed over there that a lot of the activists were fighting for. So they have both of those streets together. So that was very interesting to me. So anyway, this is her story. And even though I'm telling it to you in a kind of flat kind of way, I'm a drama person. I am a suspense person. So I'm going to take you there. I take you to Paris. I take you to Italy. I take you all over. And then you come back and, oh my God, she got to deal with this. It's a good story. But she ends up having to come back to Fayetteville because, well, I just give that little tidbit. In the first story, her sister, the one that I told you that she was really having a lot of issues with, and that sibling rivalry thing, well, she gets killed. She gets killed by a policeman in Fayetteville. And so she's has to come back for the trial. But other things happen too. And I'm telling you, my readers, honestly, they have been fascinated with it. This book is doing so well, so well. And somebody asked me, I wasn't trying to do a third book, but I may, because there's things, right, there are issues, or there are things in here that I could carry, on, and I know how to get it going, but I have been so amazed at people's response to this particular book. Now, Gwen, you got to stop me because I'm one of them people that like to talk. So I'm gonna stop there. But that's
You're answering all the questions that we would have asked you anyway. It's okay, Suzetta.
So that's the gist of the story. I'll put it like that.
Okay, now
without giving it away, and I mean, there's so much more to it, really.
Who is depicted on the cover? Who in the book is depicted on the cover? Can you show the cover again? It looks like a man.
But people say it looks like me, and I actually did my own cover this time, and I'm just so excited. But no, it's supposed to be gypsy. I have the I love it because there's a mystique about the picture, that I utilize.
It is. I thought it was a man. Can you show it again?
No, it's a female.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, you can't really
Just the
tell right
darkness
there.
under the cloak. Yeah.
And you don't really see lipstick or makeup, too much makeup.
No, it's there, but I think it's because
It's
of
subtle.
the dark cover, you know.
Okay, I like that you did the different font,
Yeah,
black
right.
diamond.
Hmm.
I like that. And
I was on mute. I said now I can see it because when you held it up, when you held it a little further back, I
You
thought it
couldn't
was
see it.
somebody looking to the side with a hat on. But when you brought it closer to the screen,
Yes,
I can see it's a woman's face.
right. Uh-huh. Hmm.
Straight on in the camera.
Yeah.
yeah, and you did a good job on your cover. Some people, when they do a cover themselves, and I don't recommend it unless people have some serious art talent. Now this is the segue, but now people are using AI to do covers. The thing about AI is everything looks alike. Now, if you want a cover that looks like AI did it, then go for it. But you had one thing that you did that's essential in a book cover. You had a central image that people could focus on.
Mhm.
Some people, they want to try to tell the story on their cover. They
Right.
have five, or
Mhm.
six clip art images. You can't try to tell your story on the
Mhm.
cover.
Mhm.
And you
Mhm.
did a good job with that. Now, do you do covers for other people? Is
No,
that what you do?
no, that was the
You
only
just
one.
what
I have
made
a
you do yours? What made you do yours?
No, no. I This was my first attempt, and I did.
Okay.
And people, when I showed it to people, I have the little thing, girl, that is so bad. That is, I have so many great comments. I said, okay, I'm gonna go for it. But yeah, I usually use well, for 12 or 13 years, I was with Simon and Schuster, so they did all that stuff uh,
Hmm.
through um, the other my imprint company. But I have a designer, a graphic designer. She
Hmm.
takes so long. I know she's not gonna be on the show, so she ain't gonna be listening.
You never
But
know. She might see it and say, "Oh, Suzetta's on here," and click the
Somebody
link
gonna
to
tell her.
the
but
show
Somebody
now
gonna
stays
tell her.
online.
now she knows, right? She was slow. I have to keep after and keep after. So that's the reason why. In fact, even on fallen leaves, the is a tree. Fallen leaves represent the people that have died through the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement. That's what fallen leaves represents. But that tree was a picture that my son took in town. And then when I took it and I put it in Canva and emblazoned it, and then I gave it to my designer. Okay, you don't have a whole lot to do. Okay, don't charge me arm and leg. No, and now you finish it up for me. But anyway, I digress. So this was my first experiment, and I think I did a good job.
You did. You did a very good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is a book two in the series.
Yes.
Okay. And it can it be a standalone book? Or do you have to have
But
really read
I would
Free Fallen Leaves to get
to really get the essential body of the character, Gypsy, it's best to read Fallen Leaves because you know all about her in that. You get the full, the grits, the eggs, the bacon. You get everything about her. Full. Yeah, and you will understand her zeal in the second book. So I do encourage people to read Fallen Leaves first. you
okay. So
know.
these two are self-published. These are you did
Yes,
independently.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Did you do the audio? Did you do an audio?
No, I haven't. I'm certainly considering it. I've been approached about it. So and I actually went to a session at the National Book Club conference, which I'm going to another one again, to discuss it further. But my coins may not be as big as some of the other folks' coins because it can be an
It
expensive.
does seem a little pricey.
Yeah. Right.
I've because I've looked at it and I've only tried to listen to one book. And if the people who watch the show know that it's been recent and it's not for me listening
Uh,
to I've been reading too long. I've been reading since I was 4, an avid reader.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not, when I'm in my car, I'm listening to music, period. That you can put a period. I
Right.
am listening to music in my car because I like the surround sound
Mhm.
aspect of music in my car. And
Right.
so I don't listen to books. And I don't commute. I don't have a long, you know,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
drive to work and that kind of thing. So my first I listened to uh about half a book, not even half. I got the 30-day free trial with Audible. It just recently, the time was up. I canceled. So I don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a, but some people just really swear by it. And Rhonda does it often. She listens to books. This is not for me.
When when I'm in hurry, and this is well, for instance, our former mob, who is still my president, Barack Obama, that 700 page, that's the only way I could listen to that. In fact, when I
No,
was
well, that
my
wasn't a
page,
thick
I was
book.
at
I didn't
page
read the whole
300 and
thing.
300 and whatever it was. I said, is it your inauguration yet? I was
Yeah,
like,
I think I got about halfway through. And
right,
but see, I read the other two books he did too. So I
yes, I
felt
did
like
too.
I
Yeah,
got, I got some
yeah.
good backstory, background, his
Mhm.
upbringing and all that.
Yeah.
So I got halfway. In fact, the book club that I was in, we each took sections, like to
Okay.
discuss.
Oh,
Each
wow.
person had a section of the
Idea.
book to discuss, because that's 700 pages is a whole lot of paper,
Right, right, right.
and it's
People
not
ask me,
fiction, so
yeah,
it's not, something it's not a quick read.
right, right. And when you and if you have a multiple, well, no, I wouldn't say multitude. If you have multiple characters and you're trying to get into the character's voice, unless you divide it up that way, one person takes this character, another, it would be difficult. For people ask me why haven't I done it, but I don't like my voice. When I listen back to my voice, way back in the day, I sounded okay, but I listen to myself now and I don't enjoy my voice, and so I'm sure other people probably wouldn't enjoy listening to me either. To read it, I'll write it, but for me to read it, I don't think so. I'm not that skilled in it.
Okay, so which
Too much.
book is this for you in terms of number? Which
Number 18.
number 18? Okay, well,
Go ahead,
great.
girl.
That's
Number
great. And
18.
when did your first book come out? Because I remember your book
Mm-hmm.
when we had the bookstore. I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah,
around
it
the
was
time.
Behind the Veil in 2006. It was,
Okay, yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
was with
Mhm.
Straber, which was imprint of Simon and Schuster. And
Mhm.
yeah, so yeah, it came out. I wrote it in 2000, and then it's the process of getting an agent. I got an agent and all of that, and
Mhm.
getting the book deal and all of that. But yeah, 2000, it was actually published in 2006 was the very first one.
Is Straber still around?
I don't
Okay,
believe so. No, I don't believe so.
okay,
Mhm.
because I
And
haven't
you can
seen
still find it. You can still find it.
the
Uh,
backlist, but
yeah, the backlist is still
mhm.
on at Simon and Schuster because my agent passed away. Max, if you know Maxine Thompson,
Yes, oh
she
yeah.
was yeah, she was my agent,
Oh,
and she
okay.
passed away
Mhm.
early part of this year. And
Yeah.
so, you know how it goes with your residuals, it would go to the agent first, So when I went to, find out how I can get my, my royalties, I saw that Straber is still there, all the backlist, they're all listed there under Straber, So
Okay, but I don't think they're releasing new books. I don't know if
not to
they're
not to
around with.
my
I
not to
don't
my
think, and I
knowledge.
don't hear about them in terms of acquisitions. Like
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
agents I know, they're signing people. I never see
Yeah,
Straber
not to my knowledge.
anymore. So, do you have another book that you're working on now? Because
Yes.
most writers are always writing the next book.
Oh, always, always. I'm practically, well, I think I'm more than two-thirds way through it. It's called El Hyde Place. That's just the name of a street. I'll know. I was talking to some girlfriends after church or at our lunch, and we lunch after church, every, us single women. I know you were talking about single people on the previous, in the previous segment. But yeah, so they were talking about all that they were doing, and I think they mentioned some streets. I don't know, I just came up with that name, but it has nothing to do with the story. Well, it does, of course. But anyway, it's another suspense novel, and it's about a minister's fall from grace, and repercussions because of that. So anyway, that's all I will say at this time. But yeah. So
Okay, and do you have a target for that one?
what now?
Do you have a target release for that
I hope
in
to have
next
I
year?
keep saying every month I'm gonna have it done, but I hope to have it done before Christmas so I can sell it, at Christmas.
Okay, and are you planning to stay independent with this one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so are you going to do your cover again?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not there. This was an experiment. It was wonderful. I even did the hard copy, because, I've shared some, and I've had other authors like Jackie Thomas, who is a very dear friend of mine, who has helped me. She's worked with a publishing house before, so she gave me a lot of good feedback. In fact, she helped me when I first started, and then told me I had to get my own Mac because, I was always a Microsoft person, and so I had to get my own Mac, my own software, to do all my stuff and lay up, because I lay it out myself and all of that, even though I do have persons who edit it, of course. But so I don't think so, Gwen. No, it's a tedious job. It's a tedious job, especially if you want it to look right, and I know a presentation is everything, because when when you present it to the public, you want them to say, "Oh, I love that." You want them to recognize, okay, that's Suzetta's work or whomever it is, work that looks good, and you want them to be drawn into it. And people really were drawn into Black Diamond. I mean, really, in fact, I just had I know that's one of the questions probably, but I had a book signing this past Saturday, and honestly, all my books, people were buying 3 and 4 books, it was so awesome. I just wanted to cry. And I had a book club meeting right after that. And it was just so overwhelming. And people were cash apping me, "Girl, you got any more books?" I couldn't make it to the book signing. And I'm just like, Lord, don't tell me I had to order more books. And
Yeah,
it was
that is
a
a blessing.
blessing. It was a true blessing. It was. The people came out in support. And that's what I do want to say, to the audience, to my readers. I don't like to say fans, but to my readers, thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. Regardless, if it's just a person that downloading it or what have you, I just appreciate you all for supporting this author. I may not be on the New York Times bestsellers list, and it doesn't matter. But I mean, I would love to be. But what I'm saying, is that the support that you all give me, and I'm just so appreciative. And I guess that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to make sure I got that in. Almost forgot, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we're at the end of our time because we started a little late. But I'm glad you were able to log in and we were able to make it happen. And congratulations on the new book, Black
Thank you so
Diamond.
much.
Okay. And it's available wherever books are sold, I'm assuming.
No, it's on Amazon. Sorry.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's a good start.
Right.
The website is in the chat as well. So if you forget about
Yes.
Amazon, go to the website, and I'm quite sure the website will lead you to where you can order the book.
Yes, and if I could just say real quick, my SuzettaPerkins.com, all my books are listed. All you have to do is hit the icon. It'll take you right to Amazon where you can purchase the book.
Okay. All right. Well, Suzetta, congratulations again. Thanks for being a guest on
Thank
Black
you. And I'm sorry I was sitting on the thing, but I was tardy. I thought I was in, but I appreciate it again, Gwen. Thank you for having me.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.